Good morning, bonjour, welcome all of you. So, this is the great morning. We are welcoming summer. The splendid summer is on the way. We are welcoming it. It's a great springtime, really. So, it is really a convenient moment for us. We will have some tips in brief, of course, for the spiritual adventure. On this method, on this way, on this track, in this discussion, we are going to take on a topic that is gossiping degrades you. Gossiping degrades you. Most of the time, we gossip. And there is a good quotation from the mother: time spent in unnecessary gossip is the cause of your old age. Time spent in unnecessary gossip is the cause of your old age. That's what we normally do. We gossip. There is no reason, no value, but we do. You see, we have been habituated with this bad habit. Most of the time, we don't know what really we are doing. We are moving, but we are moving, but moving in a wrong way. The mother had a beautiful, nice quotation on this. I have seen a young man of 80 and an old man of 16. 16 years old man, how is it possible? You can ask me. And 80 years is almost, we have taken it super old. How can you feel this is a young mother quotes? Because it is everything relates to the consciousness, temperament. So how he is with which consciousness he is there. So it is there, 16-year-old, but actually he's having a lazy temperament. He has no interest. He has been broken down. So that time you will take him. He seems to be an old man, a young man at the boy at a youth, but actually his temperament is gone. He seems to be, he acts to be, of course he is really in the path of the old age. Well, not more with, so far this temperament and the consciousness is concerned, he is gone. But actually you can find even at the age of 80, 90, or even a centurion, you can find in ashram Pondicherry. You will be seeing they are so much with a very active temperament. They will be doing something like yoga, and they will be marching forward. They will be moving in the seashore. They will be busy with doing their own works. They will be attending even couple of departments where they were previously appointed, or they were doing works. So that way you will find the difference between young and youth, young and old. Here we are taking a few lines from the mother. Gossiping degrades you. There is a state in which, mother quotes, there is a state in which simply conversation which obliges you to remain on the level of ordinary life gives you a headache. Most of the time, that suppose you are in the spiritual track, you want to cross over, you want to overcome your difficulties. Most of the time people feel we have nothing to do, simply we'll sit, we'll gossip, we'll take a cup of tea. Already mother has explained you, either tea or coffee, you can take anything, but they are slow poisons. Normally we do, we take tea or coffee, we gossip, we spend our time with ill gossips, we feel temperament here and there. We spend our time, we unnecessarily waste our time. So when time will come, you will feel the level of ordinary life, it is a headache for you, you don't like it, is not at all preferable for you, you don't like accept it. Turn your stomach, and if it continues, may give you a fever. Naturally you will feel, because that if actually you are active enough, you'll find normal way of living, normal way of eating, normal style of moving, that will bring a headache for you, because you have been elevated in your consciousness. I am speaking, of course, about the gossip type of conversations. Gossip type of conversation, suppose you are involved in some spiritual discussion, that is not gossip. Ordinary things, most of the time we do normally. This has been very much dense with the arrival of your handset mobile. So you can find no time. Suppose you don't have anything to do, simply you do not talk with somebody. There is no reason, nothing is there. I believe that part from the few expectations, everybody indulgence in this exercise. Already I quoted you. Everybody, almost everybody, I will tell, bearing one or two, they are also even. I have seen people even they are at the bedridden, they are moving falling somewhere else, but actually you can find them with chanting with somebody, busy with idle gossip, indulges in this exercise and talks of things about which he should keep silent or chatters. She should keep silent. That was something is there. He must keep silence. He must be silent, but he is not doing. He is indulging in talking about those nonsense things or chatters about the other things, one thing or other, which are not at all necessary so far this yogic life is concerned, yogic path is concerned, yogic rules and disciplines is concerned. Everything is contrary, but simply time passing, talking for talking sake, living for living sake, going for going sake. That has been a habit. Normally people are habituated. Almost I will tell, not only in the ordinary consciousness, I will try to explain you, even in our people also taking the same path. So it becomes so natural that you are not troubled by it. You are not troubled by it because you are acquainted. You have taken it for granted. You have been habituated. So, but if you continue in this way, you hinder your consciousness completely from rising up. Consciousness, whose actually which has to get elevated, it has to rise up. That is what for that actually it is there, and you are trying you are trying to master over here, and you are trying to you must try to raise your consciousness, but with this unnecessary chatting your with these chatters and with idle talks, idle gossips, this is actually you hinder your consciousness from rising up. Then what happens? You bind yourself in the iron chains to the ordinary consciousness. In the with the mother course, iron chains, not the ordinary chains. Iron chains means very difficult to free you. It is very hard. So you are binding yourself with iron chains in the ordinary consciousness, and the work in the subconsciousness. And work in the subconsciousness is not done. Ordinary inconscience or nescience, that is what the level of peace where we are. So he has not even begun. Subconscious matter, it has not at all begun. You know, you have to speak in a big way while taking classes, while delivering speeches. Big things you are telling, but actually you are now chained in a iron chain with the below ordinary or below ordinary consciousness. Even subconscious matters yet to begin. Those who went up, want to rise up, have already enough difficulties without looking for encouragements outside. So just imagine mother course in the other side. Those who want to rise up, because these things, chattering, your idle gossiping, idle talks, they hinder you. But the people who want to rise up have already enough difficulties without looking for encouragements outside. So thing is that what we have to do, I have my difficulties, everybody has busy difficulties, but things are they are having related to their own problems or problems of their family surrounding, but our problem, it is a spiritual matter. So we have to come out of those engagements, and we have to be one with the divine. That is what the thing we have to do. We are here naturally. The effort to keep the consciousness at a high level is a thing in the beginning, is a thing in the beginning. To keep the consciousness at a high level, that is the beginning. Like exercises you do to develop your muscles, you need to develop your muscles. For that exercise is required. Like that, you want to raise your consciousness. For that actually it is the beginning. You have to do, you have to surmount your difficulties, you have to rise up in that direction. That is what the requirement. But you don't give up the gymnastics because of that. With gymnastics, it is necessary to build up your muscles. It is there, you have to do. So mentally also you must do the same thing. For that you have to do something. You must not allow your mind to stoop low. Don't allow your mind to stoop low, because you know mind the cause of all problems here. So gossiping degrades you, and if you want to do the yoga, that is a strict even bright message from the mother. If you want to do yoga, you must abstain from gossiping. That's all, mother course. Again, what we have to do? A mother course, what is the remedy? Which way I have to go? Mother course say only the indispensable words. No words act, that is the message you have seen. Talk as little as possible, work as much as you can, that is what the another message. So you here also gossiping degrades you, that's what you know. So idle gossip is a big hinder, and it is a big, it hinders in a big way, you know. So mother quotes in a beautiful way and a big way, that is what to be understood, that must be noted in a very silent and clean mind. So say only the indispensable words. Mother quotes, I suggest, mother begins, I suggest that everyone of you should try. Should of you means you don't think that it is people who are gathering around the mother. It is every one of you should try. Oh, not so for long, just for 1 hour day. Not the 24 hours. You just try to put on yourself only just 1 hour a day, and to say nothing but to absolutely indispensable words. Whatever is strictly indispensable, whatever are needy, because you know once this arrow has been thrown out of the bow, you know that bullet has gone out of the gun. It never returns like this. When we speak of a word that never returns. So look before you you leap. Thousand times you think, you know, what I must utter, so that it must not be a boomerang for me. Like this mother quotes, say nothing but the absolute indispensable words. Absolutely indispensable words, not one more, not one less. What is really required, how much it is required, that's what to be uttered, and it must be thought of in a thousand ways. Many times you take your decision, and you know you have to do that. You can quote the ex president of America. A lot of things. He was actually uttering a few lines, few words in his speeches. So once again, something he was standing. This press people, they kept asking questions, and questions. He was silent, and finally he tried to wind up the meeting. And before winding up the meeting, he said, "Don't, only a small word. Don't publish it." People who have come, press people, they are asking, then what you have said that we will go to publish in our what is in our papers in the big way. He has told nothing. Again, what happened? Actually, his trusted Keith and Keen, very close to her, somebody. She had a old lady. She had a challenge with her nearby. It's Keith and Keen. She came and asked that president, Mr. President, I have had a big challenge with my friends, my relatives. Just try to speak a few words so that they will be happy, and otherwise I will be defeated. And this Mr. President is looking at her and saying in a very slow way, very small letters, small words, "You have lost." Just imagine how he is. You have lost. That is what the word means. I will speak nothing, then nothing more, nothing less, and you have lost. So here, mother quotes, not one more, not one less. Take 1 hour of your life. Take 1 hour of your life, that the one which is the most convenient for you. Necessarily, you should not fix the hour that is convenient, that is imposed upon you. As per your convenience, you choose 1 hour, and during that one time, observe yourself closely. Observe yourself closely, and say only absolutely the indispensable word. If you are not prepared, just stand up before a mirror, think and try to practice it. Mother quotes, during that time, observe yourself closely and say only the absolute indispensable words. At the outset, the first difficulty will be to know what is absolutely indispensable. That's what that must be known. Which is indispensable? I am talking a lot of things. So which is indispensable, most urgent. So, mother, that also mother tries to remind you. First difficulty will be to know. First difficulty will be to know, not problem. Difficulty will be to know. That is the problem. So, will be to know what is absolutely indispensable and what is not. That is what the you to choose the thing to know which is absolutely indispensable, which is not. It is already a study of itself, and every day you will do better if you choose 1 hour, and that will be mistake, and that will be corrected later. So day by day, time after time, you will be doing better. Next next step, you will see that as long as one says nothing, very interesting, as long as one says nothing, it is not difficult to remain absolutely silent. But as soon as one begins to see, that is the difference. As soon as you say no one says nothing, it is not difficult to remain absolutely silent. Second, as soon as someone begins to speak, always or almost always you say two or three or 10 or 20 useless words. Useless words, unnecessary. You start working, speaking, you speak like anything, which is not at all necessary to tell. That you must know, that is not at all necessary to know. So you should know, you must know before uttering. The arbitrarily you decide, I shall use those words, not which somebody will else will tell you. That's what you must be focused upon the selection. Now, this is the very good. It is perhaps very good for him, but not for everyone. So, everything you must be conscious, not only conscious, you will be super conscious. So, that is the requirement. That is the definitely that is the most useful things that must be taken care of. Choosing of words is the most difficult thing. Sometimes choosing of the phrase and choosing of the time, that is best, that is very much indispensable for you. And mother also explains, reminds us the difficulty with us which really we are facing normally. Choosing the right thing, and which is right, which is wrong, which is dispensable, which is not dispensable, which I should talk and which I should avoid. But the thing is that it is a continuous practice. Through practice, you try to better up to every point of time. You will try to better up. Try to do it. Try to stick to the rule. Try to speak as little as possible. Work as much as possible. And only the chosen selected word, the indispensable word, must be uttered. This is for today. Bande Matram.